Mali haya, mali nasa. Both of them are not saying to go ahead and do it. Both of them are not in the active form. Either he says it had a mum, or it had been made in it a mum, but it's not to go ahead and do it. Elanasa nami mimelahu v'leishna. Rather, there's no problem with nasa either, because nasa is a it had been done. Is that like the past participle? If it had been done. So that's considered passive here, and it's not considered like telling him to go ahead and do it. Okay, zehaklal kol shuladas aser. This is the rule. Anything that's intentional is prohibited. Lasuyimai. What's this coming to include? Why do we have to say this is the rule? We said the case. Why do you have to add in rules now? We have the example. So lasuya grama. The rule is telling me, and it's including the case where it's an indirect cause, which we learned before, that if someone puts some sort of delicious cake on the ear of the calf or whatever, so the animals are going to come and bite it. So you're causing it. That's also considered ladas, intentional, and that won't work to be a mum. Shalei ladas, but if it's not intentional, lasui mesiach levitumai. This is mesiach levitumai means where you're talking without intending anything to happen from that. Casually talking. So if the Jews are talking amongst themselves, they're saying, we have to wait for it to have a mom and whatever, but they're not directing the soldier what to do.
Like, neighbor, I'd love to give you a drink on Shabbos, but it's dark in my house and I can't find the bottle. Guy comes in, gets a drink, and then when he's finished, closes the light and leaves.
Right. So is this exactly that case? I think this is where the Jews are talking amongst themselves. It happens to be he's overhearing that conversation. So then that would be permissible because they didn't intend for him to go ahead and hear that and to go ahead and do it. It's more like, I would say Reb Zusha and Reb Eily, they would travel. And if someone needed some musar, so they wouldn't tell him directly. They would tell each other, they would talk to each other, and they would say, Zusha, I haven't checked my tefillin, it's such a long time. And the guy would hear, and he would say, oh yeah, I also didn't check my tefillin. So, okay. The Mishnah says, Haya bechar rodfu. If there's an animal that's chasing this fellow, it's chasing him. So what happens? The guy turns around, this is very odd. The guy turns around and bites the animal. Batu, vasa by mum. He's trying to get him off. I guess you use every tactic that you have. So if you have a stick, you'll use a stick. You didn't have a stick, you bit him. You bit the animal. Vasa by mum hariz sheikhtan alav. That's you can shech the animal. It has a mum. Amar of Papa leishano shel shabat b'shas redifa. That's only if he bit him while he's being chased. Avalacher redifa loy. But if after he chased him, he then goes over to the animal and bites him, you say no. The Gemara says pshita. That's quite obvious. He's not being chased anymore. He's already locked up.
Like anger.
So mal detam. I could have thought sorry who the midkai. It's
anger issue. If he bites into the animal, just
well, he's not eating it. He's going to spit it out. So I could have said.
Who was that boxer that bit the ear? Did he get off for biting the ear? Because it wasn't that moment.
So could have said sorry who the midkar. He's remembering the pain that he went through that when the animal chased him. So he turns around, even though the fight was over, he turns around and bites him because of, why did you chase me like that? So I could have said that he didn't intend to make the mum. He was just angry at the animal.
Must be cool.
Kamash Malon, that it comes to tell me that doesn't help. The fact that he's remembering the pain that he had to go through, that's considered like he made him up because it was over. He already caught the animal and locked him up. And okay, Ikadami. Some say this the other way. Amar of Papa Leitem b'shas Radifa and Aval Shlei b'shas Radifa Loi. Don't say that it's only while you're being chased. But after you're being chased, then the halacha would be different. Even if after the chase is over. So my timer, what's the reason for that? Sorry, who the midkar. He remembers the pain that he went through being chased, and he turns around and he bites him. It's not considered that he intentionally made a mum. He was just letting out his anger on this animal. Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says, "Mutar lahatal mum bebechar kaidem sheitzel avira elam." You're allowed to cut or make a wound in a bechar before it's born. Now, the Gemara is going to give suggestions of how to do this without actually going inside the womb and doing this. Amar Rava explains how to do this. Gadya ba'udne. If it's a goat, then the goat has longer ears, and it's possible that the ear has come out first. You can make a cut in the ear before the head comes out. The head would be considered the birth, but here you can see the ear already before the head comes out, so it's not born yet. So you can make a cut in the ear, even though the ear is out, but the animal is not considered born. Amra besif vase. I don't know how to read that. Besif vase. And if it's a sheep, in the lip, because the sheep has the lip would the head is longer and the face would come out first, you'd be able to make a cut in the lip before the head is out, and that would be considered a mum before it's born. Ikad amri. Some say Amar nami badnei. Amar derech tzedav nafak. You can make a cut in the ear also in a sheep, because maybe it's being born sideways, and the side of the head is coming out, and so you're able to see the ear first. Do they have terms for every time? I know breach is the, and it's, I don't know if they have terms for every possible position. Okay. Amar Rava. They have a name for every shape of a cloud. And,
we do. Well, every type of cloud.
So Amar Rava says, actually, this is supposed to be Rav Papa. Amar, maybe it's Amar. How do they have it there? This is Rava? Yeah. Amar Rava, Achal v'lei nechse. If there's a wound in the mouth, but when it's eating, you can't see the wound. Poi mechse. When it's moose or braise, or I don't know, how do you say the sheep? Baz. Yeah. So then when it opens its mouth like that, then you can see it. That's also considered a mum, having mum. In other words, it's a visible mum. That's considered visible. Maikamash Malan, what he's coming to teach us, Tanina, that we know already from a Mishnah. Rabbi needs to teach me a Mishnah. It says, Achutin achitzayna shenifkamu. Achutin, I think it sounds like strings, but I think it's referring to the teeth. Is it the teeth or the gums? The gums, the outer gums that have a wound, v'shenigmamu, or they're cut, deep cuts, scratched. So hachutna hachitzin shenifkamu, v'shenigmamu, hapnimis shenekru. In the inner ones that are removed, pnimis, it must mean the inner teeth, the molars maybe. So this is considered a mum. So we see the back gums. It's all the gums. But here he's learning that it's all the gums. It's not the issue. It's not the teeth. Rashi says that it's the teeth.
By the way, the word is transverse for sideways.
Oh yeah. So the what we're learning over here is my taima. What's the reason why this would be considered a mum? You can't see the inner teeth when it's eating. It's only because my taima la mishum d'chipai. It's because when it makes the sounds, when it moves, then you can see it. The kipa machse. So Rav Papa explains that I know the Mishnah says that. But however, Rava was just explaining the reason for the Mishnah. My time nekru havimuma. What's the reason why, if those molars were removed, that it's considered mum? Because when it makes the sounds, you could see it. It's considered a visible mum. Okay. Kol mum and rein lavi b'diyadam. Any mum that potentially could have come through a person's action. That's excluding if it's born with 5 legs or something. That no, a person can't do. But if it's a mum because it's a cut or something like that, that if possible it could have happened on its own, possible it could have happened by a person deliberately. So then, Roy Yisrael Ne'amanim. Jewish shepherds are believed. Jewish means over here means non-Kohanim, are believed. However, Royim Kohanim, but if it's a Kohen shepherd, Ein Ne'amanim, they're not believed that this mum came on its own. It's possible that it was performed by the individual. You can, even if it's a Kohen, he can testify about his friend, but he can't testify about his own. You can say, yeah, I was there, I was watching, and I saw it get scratched by the fence. No. If he's not trusted for his own, he can't testify for anyone else either. Can't testify or judge on it. We're going to discuss how Reb Meir is different than the Tanakama. So Rabbi Yechon and Rabbi Lazar. We have a discussion here between Rabbi Yechon and Rabbi Lazar. And what we're discussing here is when we said Roya Yisrael, shepherds, Jewish shepherds. Are we talking about shepherds of a Jew, of a Yisrael, even if it's a Kohen? Or are we talking about that the flock is owned by Kohanim, but the shepherds are non-Kohanim? So
the shepherd, the owner, or the shepherd's employee?
So when it says Roya Yisrael, is it shepherds? Is it shepherds of a Yisrael, or is it Yisrael shepherds? Is there an of in there? Right? Is Roya is the Yisrael? Is it 2 nouns, one after another? Or if Yisrael is just the adjective? Is it 2 nouns? And then if 2 nouns, I would say shepherds of the Yisrael, and they're really Kohanim. Or is it an adjective that it's Yisrael shepherds? It's okay.
Here it says it's Kohanim shepherds, and they're employed in the house of the Yisrael.
Okay, that's going to be the first opinion. 1 second. So, Chad Amar, one opinion says that it's Roy Yisrael Bei Kohanim, that it's shepherds that are Yisraelim, but they're in the house of Kohanim. Those are Ne'amanim. Those are believed. So in other words, the owner is a Kohen, but the shepherd is a Yisrael. Why? What does the Yisrael want? Yisrael is going to want to have the meal when the owner is going to Shech. So he's going to maybe put a mum in there. He says, just for a meal, he's not going to put a mum in there. It's not going to be the owner of this thing. He's going to get him in. Roy Kohanim Bei Yisrael, but if shepherds that are Kohanim that are in the house of a Yisrael, Ein Ne'amanim, they're not believed. Why? Meimar Amar, they're going to say, Kivin the Katarachna Bei, I work for the fellow. Once there's a mum in it, was he going to give it to someone else that's a Kohen, some other guy that he doesn't know? I'm here the whole day. He's going to give the animal to me, so he wouldn't be trusted. Of course, a Kohen for another Kohen. Because over there you're going to suspect that they made an arrangement. You do it for my animals, and I'll do it for your animals.
Well, what happens at the end of the day? If Kohen does make a mum, so what happens to the animal then?
Well, that's the machlekes we had. Rabbi Eliezer says it can never be shechted, and the Chum say if it gets another mum, then it can be shechted.
It isn't that it can be shechted, but it has to go to a different Kohen. That could be the punishment.
Yeah, but for some reason, while he's alive, he didn't allow that. Reb Shimon ben Gamliel says, no, it's not so. We're not choshesh for Gaimlin. We're not suspect that they made this arrangement between each other. He's trusted on his friend, but not on his own. And Reb Meir says, okay, that's the first opinion. So that Roya Yisrael means that he's a Yisrael shepherd, but he's in the house of Kohanim and he's trusted. The Chad Amar, the other one says, Roya Yisrael v'hem kayanim. It's a shepherd of a Jew, but he's a kayan. He's believed. The kayan himself is believed how it happened. Why? Meimar Amar, this shepherd that's a kayan is going to say, or we're going to say about him, that Leishavik Tzuvim Meraban V'yav L'didi. He's not going to give it to me. I'm just a shepherd. I'm going to testify. I know he's going to give it. He's going to give it to his, the rabbi, the kohen in the yeshiva. He's not going to give it to me. So therefore, we don't say that he's biased in putting the wound in it. He shouldn't be getting this bechor anyway. Roy kohenim v'hin Yisrael. But what about the kohen is the owner, but the Yisrael is the shepherd. So according to this opinion, ein nemanim. The Yisrael is not believed. Why? The chashin l'legima, because he wants the meal. It's going to be a fabrengen after this. I'm really looking forward to my owner, the employer, shachting his bechor. V'kolsken kayin l'kayin, and for sure, a kayin to a kayin. Is it the lay chashin l'gaimlin, or is it chashin l'gaimlin? How do they have that? They don't suspect, or they do suspect? For sure, a kayin to a kayin is suspected. I have two versions in my Gemara. How do they translate it? Is suspected? Is suspected for Gaimlin, that they're going to have an arrangement. But Cheshin Lelagima, we also suspect that he's going to want the meal. He's trusted on his friend, but he's not trusted for himself. Meir says that no, if you're not trusted on your own, you're not trusted for a friend. Gemara says, if I say that a kohen is trusted, as long as his owner is a Yisrael, that's the first opinion. Then the Tanakam is arguing with Reb Meir. Reb Meir says that you can never trust a kohen. Tanakama says that you can trust a kohen as long as he's not the owner. But if I say that we're dealing with koyanim that are shepherds in the house of a Jew, they're not believed. What's Rameir saying? The Tanakam already says that you can't trust a kohen. The Tanakam says you can't trust a kohen if the owner is a Jew, if the owner is Yisrael. It's the same thing. Rameir and the Tanakam is the same opinion. The Gemara says it could be Nayid or Rabbi Shua ben Kupusai. The difference is Rabbi Shua ben Kupusai. The Tanya Rabbi Shua ben Kupusai Yomer Bechor beKayin tzarich shnayim min hashuk lahayed alav. Question is, do you need two people to testify for him? And they're arguing if in this opinion. Okay, we'll go over that tomorrow.
Sure. It says that Rabbi Yeshua is the